All right. Hi, my loves. Give it a moment. Let people hop on. I'm burning my sage here. I've done a bunch of sessions today, so of course I'm getting ashes all over my computer now. So, yes. Yay. All right. So this is, now that it's all smoky, excuse me, this is our Joan of Arc month. Joan of Arc and the Dragons. So let's, ooh, that was loud. Let me make sure that everything is all muted. Okay, great. Okay, yes, so April. So April is Joan of Arc and the Dragons. So let me just read what I channeled initially for this month, and that's what we'll work on today. And then for our next session, we'll just see what wants to come through. Maybe we'll do more with Joan of Arc and the Dragons. Maybe we'll go somewhere else. So April, stepping out of suffering with Joan of Arc and the Dragons. We are not required to suffer in any area of our lives at any point. Joan of Arc and the Dragons help us shift our perspective, energy, and lives out of suffering and into the vast possibilities for joy and abundance and love. Joan of Arc is a master at elevating out of suffering and a beautiful guide for this kind of work. The dragons are also ready to help us create a new world for ourselves post-suffering. So that sounds like fun, right? Okay, so we'll see where we want to go. All right, hi Rita, hi Faith, yay! All right, so where do we want to start? Okay, yeah, this feels really perfect right now because we recently went through a big perspective shift. I was just looking back at the last two, so I do energy readings every week, mostly every week. I'll pull cards and do an energy reading for the collective. And I was just looking over the last 2 weeks, and they were both about shifting perspectives. So it's really interesting how much we have actually shifted in the past couple of weeks, whether you've felt this really strongly or it's been a bit more neutral. And that just sort of depends on, where you are in your own process. And so I love that we're going to be working with that idea of stepping out of suffering, because this is really what's available to us right now in this energy. We are, I think really, it kind of feels like for the first time in our human evolution, we are able to really fully step out of suffering if we choose. And, this doesn't mean that we won't necessarily have challenges. This doesn't mean we won't go through things in our human lives, but we don't have to suffer in the same way as many of us are used to, whether it's because we have a lot going on in our own lives or because we're really feeling into the energy of the collective. Most of us we're so accustomed to suffering that we don't even realize that how much we're doing it, how much we are suffering. It's almost like the lack of, we can kind of confuse the lack of pain for actual pleasure. So anyway, that is shifting. And I think a lot of you, most of you on this call have been shifting out of that for a while now. It feels like what the opportunity is now is to make it so that our usual experience is of expansion and peace and joy and love and purpose and fulfillment and abundance. And suffering is maybe it doesn't step in at all, or it's just a very rare occurrence for us rather than kind of that daily thing. Anyway, I'm talking about this a lot, and I don't know that we need to do that. Okay. Oh, hi, Barbara. Hi, Sharon. Yay. Lots of people on tonight. That's fun. Okay. So anyway, my point with that whole rant was that it's possible for us to fully step out of suffering now and to step into something new, which is really freaking exciting. So let's do that. All right. Okay, so let's first do a little bit of grounding. So just take a few deep breaths with me. Just feel yourself landing fully in your body. Breathing into your heart, breathing into your lungs, breathing into your tailbone, breathing into your pelvis, breathing into your legs, breathing into your shoulder blades, breathing into your heart. So as you feel your breath expanding your organs, filling your body with oxygen and light and love, you're actually connecting with your higher self. So every time you breathe, every time you bring oxygen into your physical vessel, you are actually connecting with your higher self. I'm not quite sure what this means yet because I've never channeled this specific information before. So let's just play with this. So when you breathe, you are connecting with your higher self. Oh, okay. I've never channeled this information before because this is fairly new. It's been only in the past couple of months for some people, a couple of weeks for other people, a couple of days for some of us, that breathing is actually connecting us to our higher self. So this is a new thing. So we're breathing all day, every day. So all day, every day, we are connecting with our higher selves. So you may have the experience of connecting more strongly with your higher self right now. I've been noticing that my higher self has been coming through more strongly. In fact, my higher self really, I was just asking a question around my work in the shower today, and my higher self was like, boom, and had a lot of information for me. So this might be an experience that you start having. So, okay, let's take a moment and connect with the back of our lungs. So I'm actually just putting my hands on the back of my rib cage here, and feeling as my lungs expand and contract. Expand and contract. And I'm actually seeing the cord of light that connects our human selves with our higher selves. It's like it's fluttering in the wind. It's fluttering with our breath. And so now, if you choose, you can invite your higher self to step fully into your body. And this can feel a little weird. You don't have to do this if this doesn't feel like what you're into today or doesn't feel comfortable, but it can be a really high and powerful experience to have the high vibration of your higher self, because of course your higher self is of the same vibration as, these ascended masters, these star beings, these animals that we've worked with. And so this is inviting a very high dimensional energy into your physical body, which actually can feel uncomfortable for the physical self, physical vessel. But if you've done this with me before, maybe a year or two ago, it's going to feel easier now than it did then, because your energy, your body has shifted into a higher vibration incrementally over the past year, past 2 years. And so just feel your higher self, the energy of your higher self sinking into your physical body. It may help to plant your feet on the floor. It may help to continue breathing deeply. It may help to feel your heart connecting with the heart of your higher self. It may help to feel your root connecting with the root of your higher self. Whew. Good. So it feels like those of you who are wanting this experience, it feels like your higher selves, for most of you, have dropped in. Just a couple who are still moving in. Good. Okay, it feels like everybody's here. Okay, and Joan of Arc is stepping right in. She's drawing the circle for us, the circle for this session. So this is a circle of healing, of transformation, of deep love, of source energy. And she's drawing a circle for each one of us individually within the bigger circle of this session. So you may see her drawing the circle around you. You may see yourself stepping into the circle. So just assume your circle in whatever way feels best to you. And it looks to me like our circles are ranged around a fire, like an outdoor, like a camping fire or a fire pit. And Joan of Arc is handing out skewers for marshmallows. All right, great. Let's go with this. So you can accept your skewer from Joan of Arc, and these are some fancy ass skewers. You know, these aren't like the sticks or the bent up coat hangers that you'll often find at s'mores parties. It looks like one of you has a really like a beautiful sharpened bamboo stick, and the bamboo has the flexibility and the energy of wood, and this is imbuing you with that grounded, flexible energy of a beautiful tree that is rooted yet flexible with the wind, with the weather. Feels like one of you is getting a diamond skewer, and so this is helping you to connect with your third eye, your intuition, your psychic abilities. And so everybody is getting a slightly different skewer, so just feel into what yours is and what it's offering you. Yeah, we're going to be working with fire tonight. Okay, and it looks like the dragons are stepping in to power up our little campfire with their dragon breath. So one dragon is blowing in purple flame, one is blowing in green flame, one is blowing in blue flame, and it's all melding together into this really beautiful sacred flame. Are we toasting marshmallows over this thing? What are we doing? She's like, yep, you're toasting marshmallows. But, okay, so she's giving each of us our own marshmallow, and the marshmallow means something different for each of us. It feels like for one of you, the marshmallow is around the sweetness of life and really being able to take in the sweetness of life in a new way. For some of you, she's calling it a marshmallow of wisdom. So if there's some guidance that you need in your life or in your work, in your relationships, in your spiritual process and path, you're getting one of the wisdom marshmallows. For some of you, you're getting just a marshmallow of joy. It's a marshmallow to help you experience joy in a new way, create space for joy in a new way. There might be another few marshmallows floating around. So accept your marshmallow from Joan. Thank you, Joan. And whenever you feel ready, you can put your marshmallow on your special toasting stick and roast it over the dragon flame. And of course, this dragon fire is imbuing your marshmallow with dragon energy. And dragon energy is some of the purest and most powerful creative energy there is. And so when your marshmallow is done to your satisfaction, whether it's a lightly toasted brown or it is, just burnt to a crisp, however you like them, you can eat it and take in this sweetness, take in this wisdom, take in this joy that has been roasted by the dragons and imbued with the dragon energy. So it's like it's almost like, like the sacrament. I'm not really Christian. I've never taken I don't remember which branch of Christianity it is, but it is based in something. It is based in something very old and very spiritual. And so we are taking the sacrament of the dragon marshmallow. That's what we're doing. So you can just feel yourself eating it, see yourself eating it, just feel it beginning to move through your system. Maybe you even taste the sweetness in your mouth and just feel it flooding through your system from the inside out. So this energy is working with your physical body. It's working with your mental body, your spiritual, energetic body, your emotional body. In whatever way you most need, this healing from Joan and the dragons is working with you through the very specific symbolism of the roasted marshmallow. So just breathe with it for a moment and allow it to work with you. Okay. And it feels like Joan is working with each of you in turn. She may be putting her hand at the back of your heart, at the front of your heart. She might be taking your hands. She may be placing her hands over the tops of your feet. So let's just take a moment and breathe with it as Joan works with you, and just open yourself up to whatever healing or guidance she has for you. You may feel things releasing. You may feel energy releasing. You may feel emotion releasing. You may feel light flooding in. Whatever your experience, it's perfect. You may not feel anything. That's also perfect. Sometimes the energy works with us below the level of our consciousness, below the level of our conscious mind, our conscious energy. And that just means, if you don't feel anything or notice anything. It's just, it's working with you really deeply and bypassing your conscious brain, because sometimes that's needed to do deeper work. Not always, but sometimes. Okay. Okay, it looks like Joan is giving a few of you packets of energy, kind of like as a favor to take home with you. So this packet of energy will either be working with you for the next day, the next 2 days, or the next 3 days, depending on what you need. Looks like for one of you, she's giving you a helmet, like a Joan helmet. So it's going to work with your brain and your third eye, your crown chakra, the back of your skull. It feels like a few of you are getting, it feels like I'm getting this, and a few of you are getting this as well. Basically, she's giving you precisely what you need in this moment. And if you come back and watch this session again, you may get something different. Because she'll be working with your energy as you show up in that time. Just allow that packet of energy, that Joan helmet, to integrate. Like a few of you are done. Okay, good. Good. So now we have the dragons coming in. Hi, dragons. Okay, so the dragons are saying, we are here to help you create a new life. New does not have to be new in the way you as a human think of it. New can be new energy, new dimensional shifts available to you at any time, new ability for quantum leaps, new ability to speak with your future self, the future self that has accomplished what you are now dreaming of accomplishing, future self that has achieved and received and stepped into what you are now walking toward. So you can talk to your future self with the help of the dragons or the help of your higher self, or just as you, and connect with the vibration of your future self that already has these things, these desires, these dreams, these life events, this money, whatever it is. You can connect with your future self more easily now, more powerfully now. Ask your future self for advice. Ask your future self to help you be in the energy of her, the one who already has what you're moving toward. And this is they're calling this quantum manifestation. And so what the dragons are doing right now is connecting each of you more powerfully with your future self. With this, another addendum, with a specific future self. So whatever it is right now that you're really working toward, maybe it's a work goal, a financial goal, a creative goal, a family goal. It doesn't have to be a goal. It can be a dream, a desire, however you want to articulate it for yourself. But it feels like for each of you, there's something specific that the dragons are helping you connect to your future self that has that specific thing, that has received, accomplished, created that specific thing. So we're going to take a few moments. Good. And just breathe with this. Feels like the dragons are still working on the connection. It looks to me like a cord of light between your higher self and your future self. Your current self, because your higher self is still within you. We're still embodying our higher selves right now, which is also going to help this process. So it's like a cord is connecting between your higher self, your current self, into your future self. Just wait while all of those cords connect. Calling these fifth dimensional quantum cords. And this is a kind of a new thing. The energy is shifted in high enough that we can do this now. Cool. You may have done something similar in the past, but it's going to have a different flavor to it now. It's going to have a different energy to it now. Because the world has tipped far enough in that direction, they're saying. Okay. Everybody's cords are connected. So now see yourself walking across that cord, almost like there's a you that's walking that kind of like tightrope to your future self. You're walking toward your future self. And she already has something that you desire. She's accomplished this. So when you get to her, she may look like you look now. She may look older. She may look younger, sort of starting to age backwards a little bit. So when you get there, just see how you're guided. See if you're guided to ask questions, to just bask in her energy. Just see what feels right to you as you talk to or approach or just be with the future self, this specific future self. Just going to give it another moment or two with the higher self. If you do feel like you would like to stay with her a bit longer, feel free to mute me until you're complete. Okay, it feels like most people are complete with messages. Again, if not, feel free to mute me until you are complete. You won't miss anything. You can always go back to the recording and catch what you missed if you feel like you did. If your future self was anything like mine, she basically said, don't worry. Everything is working out. You don't have to try to force this. You don't have to try to worry about it. You just need to keep doing you. That was, in essence, what I got from my future self. So just sort of feel into what your future self had for you. It feels like Joan of Arc is stepping back in to kind of complement that. To add her own boost of energy, boost of love, boost of guidance to anything that your higher self offered you. Not your higher self, your future self and your higher self. So just take a moment with Joan. She may give it to you as guidance that you hear, feel, understand, know now. She may offer it to you as a gift, maybe a little box or a little crystal ball. So just see what she's offering you, receive it in whatever way feels good. She's actually asking me to bury mine under a tree, so that's what I'm doing. Feel free to follow any random instructions she gives you. You don't have to know how things help in order for them to actually help. And she's saying, in fact, sometimes it's better not to know, because of course, the how isn't our job. Our job is to decide what we want and show up and take the guidance that we receive, follow whatever path unfurls before us, and trust that what we want is coming. When we fixate on the how, we just tangle ourselves up and slow ourselves down. I know, as someone who's done a lot of tangling and a lot of slowing in my day. You feel like you've received whatever Joan has for you, and the dragons are stepping back in. We're just going down the assembly line here. Okay, the dragons are stepping back in. Hi, guys. Okay, so where the dragons sent us flame for the campfire earlier, they are now basically just blazing the energy of this session, the container of this session that was set up earlier. They're just blazing it with their fire, with their light. And so we're being showered with purple dragon light, green dragon light, blue dragon light, white dragon light, pink dragon light. I've never seen a pink dragon. That sounds awesome. Yellow dragon light. So just feel the different energies of this working with you in whatever way you need. Feels like the pink might be working with your heart or your nervous system. Gold might be working with your spine and your back, the back of you. The blue may be working with your brain. However the colors are working with you, it's perfect. Just breathe in this energy. It's similar but subtly different than the light the star beings sent to us, the colors, the light that star beings shared with us. So just breathe in these many different colors, these many different lights, the different energies the dragons are sharing with us, and you'll receive exactly the concoction that you need. So if you need all pink, you'll get all pink. If you need a nice, a nice little rainbow of blue, green, and gold, that's what you'll get. You'll get exactly what your system and your energy needs right now. So you can just breathe with it and let it dance in front of your eyes and entertain you. They're saying when you start seeing fireworks, you know they're done and they're just having fun with you. So keep letting the energy, the light work with you until you see fireworks. A few more moments with this. Okay. Feels like that's good, although of course feel free to stay with this energy if you like, and you can mute me if you want to stay with this. If you feel complete, this is interesting, they're actually saying to me, stop channeling, start talking, which is usually the opposite of what I get. Usually they're like, stop talking and start channeling. So let's see. This is interesting. Of course, it will be partially channeled because as long as I'm speaking through my heart rather than my head and my thoughts, it's all mostly channeled. As it's the same for all of us when we're kind of in our peaceful self, when we're grounded, when we're speaking from our heart, we're channeling our higher selves, channeling, whatever energy we do. Okay, so what do you want me to talk about? Faith says, fun share. My marshmallow stick was gold and encrusted with jewels, part royal scepter, part wizard and wand. And my marshmallow was the marshmallow of fuck everything. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing. I love it. That's glorious. Yeah, Joan of Arc gives good presents. In one of the Activate sessions ages ago, I think she gave us all like a sword, and it was an amazing sword for everybody. People were writing in, for weeks after telling me the swords that they got. It's really cool. Joan of Arc gives good presents. So thanks, Joan. Okay, so I'm supposed to talk. All right, I'm supposed to talk. What are we talking about? What feels right? Oh, interesting. The phrase that jumped in was the joy of life. Okay, so let's just play with this for a little bit. So the joy of life for me personally has been showing up lately as really doing my best to stay present. Because I imagine you're all very intelligent people, and it's very easy for smart people to kind of jump around and be looking into the future and feeling back into the past and basically being everywhere but the present. And of course that feels very unstable. So one of my biggest practices lately has been to really just come back into this moment, come back into this moment, come back into this moment. Of course, that's one of the reasons I like these sessions so much. I have to be in the moment. I can't be going anywhere else, or I can't be in this energy. I can't bring this through for us. And I think that's really the point. When we're in the future, in the past, we can't really do anything. You can't do anything about the future. You can't do anything about the past. The only place you have any power, any ability to receive energy, love, is in the present. And I've been noticing that I'm the happiest. I feel the most joy when I'm really in the present. Whether it's driving, and of course I live in California, so we have some really beautiful drives, so it's kind of easy to be present with those, but it's also easy to just completely tune them out, even though it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. So, whether I'm driving somewhere or in the grocery store or at home, just one of the best ways to anchor back into the present that I've found is to just notice, like, okay, there are my tulips. Here's my computer. Here's my rose quartz crystal. There's my unicorn. And it just sort of helps me anchor back into the present. And this is important for those of us who are very energetically gifted, I guess, is the term that's coming through, because it's so easy for you to hop dimensions, hop timelines, time travel. Like, you can do so many things, whether you're consciously aware of it or not. But what we're really here to do is be in this human body, be in this human experience, be in the present. So it's like really anchoring, and that's one of the reasons we do so much heart work, because that really helps us come into this moment, into, the ever-present now. So it feels like the ever-present now really wants to be felt, really wants, because, of course, when we are in the present, we're also in our eternity. Time and space doesn't really matter. And so being present is something we have to focus on as humans, but it like doesn't matter to us, I think, in other, incarnations, other energies when we're drifting out there in the cosmos. So this is why we kind of have to practice this so much, because you're so used to being in other energies. You're so used to always being present, that it's not like you don't have to work for it. So wait, why? And then when you end up in other places, it's like, wait, what happened? So we're teaching ourselves, it's almost like we're teaching ourselves to be human. A phrase that came through in my last session, my last one-on-one session, which was amazing, was earth school. Like, a lot of us have had to be in earth school, and we've almost done it too well because we've really kind of inculcated ourselves into the culture and the thought patterns and like all of the earth stuff. And so now we're trying to find that balance between being present and being in this human experience while also having access to our divinity, to that well of peace and love and freedom and joy and all of these beautiful things. So this is what we're playing with right now. And it may still feel a little bit dichotomous. It may be feeling easier. I feel like actually this is probably feeling easier to some of you, if not most of you, than it might have, the last time we talked about it, or, a week ago. Like, the energies have shifted. So it's like, this is actually, it may be feeling more possible for you to be both very present in your human experience while also connected to the everything. So, the ever-present now. So as we connect with the ever-present now, everything is possible. All possibilities exist. And so what you focus your attention on is the possibility you're creating. And the universe does not distinguish between good, bad, or otherwise. The universe just looks at, okay, what is she putting her attention on? If she's putting her attention on that, she must want it. So here you go. The universe doesn't judge. Like, we judge good, bad, money good, not money bad, love good, not love bad. We have all of these kind of standards and judgments that our brain is constantly churning out. So the practice right now is to continue focusing your attention on what you actually want, and not worrying if it doesn't come in the way you expect, or it doesn't come in the timing you expect. And so it's really about, it's like, and focus is even too strong a word. It's like a gentle attention. It's like holding it really lightly while still like, and this is something I'm still working on with my human self. So it's like, okay, how do I describe this? But okay, can I channel this one? Because I don't really feel like I know. They're like, all right, fine. So basically, it's simply about noticing. So when you notice that your brain has been worried about something specific, maybe something you're used to worrying about, just gently notice. Just be like, oh, there we go again. Hi, brain. I see what you're doing there. But what we actually want is this. So let's just put our attention for a moment on that. Good. Let's move on with our day. So it's that kind of thing. It's just like gentle redirection, rather than like, I must focus on this thing with all of my might or it will not happen, which is how I've tried to manifest in the past, and that does not work very well. Or if it does work, I'm exhausted by the time it comes in. So it's like gentle redirection. It's gentle course correction throughout the day, throughout the hour, sometimes throughout the minute, depending on what your brain's doing. So gentle redirection. Okay, so feels like there's some heart clearing that's happening. I think it's around the information that was just coming through. I don't know if I was actually talking. That still felt like channeling, but it was a little different. So yeah, if it feels like some energy is moving through your heart, just breathe with it. That's just a bit of clearing, upgrading, shifting, all sorts of good things. I'm out of water again. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, yeah. Yeah, sorry, Rita. I sometimes I'm very distractible, so sometimes I can't focus if there's a lot of movement. So I'll just do that. There we go. That should work. Okay. All right, so what wants to come through now? What are we doing next? Okay, the dragons are done with us. They're waving goodbye. Although they are reminding us that, like, you don't need me to do, you don't need me for the dragons. You can talk to the dragons anytime you want, just call them in, just say hi, just, ask them to come through for you, whatever feels good. You can play with them in any way that you like. They are always here for you. They're here to help you create your desired reality. They're here to help you clear out things you don't enjoy. They're here to take you on a dragon ride. If you want a little fun, you can go swooping through Avalon on a dragon. That's always a nice, break in the day that doesn't require going anywhere. The dragons can work with you on any number of things to see how they want to come through for you and play with them. That's kind of the invitation for April. I mean, for any time really, but within the context of what we're doing here, the invitation for April is play with the dragons, ask them for help, ask them for whatever you want and see what happens, see what that leads you to. The same with Joan of Arc. And it feels like Joan has another message or two for us before she checks out. Okay, yeah, she's just saying you are loved. You have already released quite a bit of suffering. It's almost, she's showing us the image of like an eagle, like its little talons that have been holding like a big rock. And so the eagle has been trying to fly while holding this rock in its talons. And she's saying, you've already released the rock. It's just, you're so used to holding the rock that you're a little unsure how to fly without the rock. So it feels like you really have released a big chunk of this, this suffering energy. A lot of it is because you're also sensitive. A lot of it is more around the collective that you've absorbed, and you've already released that. It's more that you're learning how to fly without it because you're so used to carrying the big fat rock with you. So that's good news. We're just we're rebalancing, we're reorienting. In the energy reading I did for this week, it's on my YouTube channel if you want to go find it, and I'll send it out to the newsletter too. It, like, what came through was that we had been flipped upside down, and so we were having to the perspective had shifted so significantly that now we're not quite sure what to do. We're integrating it all. So that's what it feels like with the suffering. Like, we're having to adjust to and integrate to the lack of suffering because we're like, what is this? So it's good. And we're just, give yourself some space, drink a lot of water, rest if you need to, do whatever feels right to you. And, just be really, really gentle with yourself as we're integrating. I mean, we're always integrating something, so always be gentle with yourself. But now it felt like we went through a big portal recently. So extra care, extra tenderness for the you, for the human, for the everything. Okay, Joan's giving me the thumbs up, so I think she's complete with us for today. Feels like the Joan and the Dragons might want to come back next time too. So we'll see. That'll be fun. Okay, cool. All right. Well, it feels like some energy is still moving. So we'll just let that keep going. Good job, guys. Woo. Whew. A lot of energy is moving. Nice. Okay, it feels like we have Archangel Michael stepping in. He's saying he's on the cleanup crew. So it feels like maybe a lot of energy was released for some of you, maybe some emotion, maybe some old thought patterns. So he's just going around with his vacuum cleaner and cleaning it up. So he's He's cleaning up each of our individual little circles and then cleaning up the group circle. So let's just give ourselves a moment to kind of bathe in that cleaning. And pro tip, you can also ask Archangel Michael to clean your house for you. I mean, he's not going to actually vacuum your carpets, but he will clean the energy of your house, which can be really, really powerful. So Archangel Michael, please sweep up my house. Please clean the energy in my house and my car. Thank you very much. So yeah, feel free to ask him to do that as he's cleaning up the session for us. Faith, I didn't know this, Faith, actually. Faith says, I'm very tickled that our Dragon Month is coinciding with HBO's Dragon Month. Yay, Game of Thrones. So many dragons. That's awesome. I had no idea. Of course it is. The dragons are strong right now. Oh, that's really cute. Rita says, my English language student from China called a little lizard we spotted yesterday a dragon. That's adorable. Actually, the one-on-one session I did right before this session, she had a little tiny dragon come through. Usually I see dragons as like these big, just big, powerful creatures. And this was just this cute little cartoon dragon that was just like hopping in to kind of help her integrate into the dragon energy. I was like, that's freaking awesome. I love it. Yeah, a little tiny dragon. So yeah, if the dragons feel, depending on the work that you've done with the dragons in the past, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, if the dragons feel a little intimidating, you can always just imagine a little tiny dragon just kind of hanging out on your shoulder and like helping you kind of, integrate into the energy, because the dragon energy is really powerful. It's a lot. I was channeling for years before I got anywhere close to the dragons. So give yourself whatever space and integration you need with it. But it feels like everybody's good. Just checking in. I'm going to check in on the people who aren't here too, just to make sure. Woo, okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, Rita says, I like how riding on a dragon can give me a new perspective. Yeah, the dragon ride is one of my favorite things. I haven't done one in a while. I should do that tonight. I think I might have a video on my YouTube channel that sends us on a dragon ride. I mean, it might have been Activate, which wouldn't be public, but I think I have a public video around going on a dragon ride if you want to give that go look for that. So, all right, let's see. Okay, Archangel Michael's still cleaning up for us a little bit. Feels like you might want to do something else with this. He said something about teaching us to clean up our own energy, and I was like, but we have you for that. Why would I want to do that? And he's kind of rolling his eyes at me. Okay, what are we doing here? Oh, okay. So it feels like he's going to I'm not quite sure what we're doing here, but it feels like he's going to show us how to do something that will keep our energy so clean that we don't need to I call him in a lot to clean up my energy. You may or may not as well. You may consciously or unconsciously. It feels like he works with all of you quite a lot. Whether it's conscious or not, he's saying he's going to help us do something. I feel like this is maybe a fifth or seventh dimensional thing that I'm not going to have a name for, but he's going to help us do a thing that's going to make it so that we don't have to clean up our energy as much. So he doesn't have to come in and clean up our energy as much. So awesome. Let's see what that is. Rita says self-cleaning oven. Yeah, maybe. let's find out. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, so I've never channeled this before. I don't know what this tool is, so I'll just share with you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing it's like it looks like a panel of silk, like a really beautiful, almost translucent, but you can tell that it's this really beautiful cloth. It's almost like it's like dragon energy sewn into silk. But it's like paint. So it's not like cloth, it's like paint, basically it looks like this is a really high vibrational, otherworldly kind of substance that's working with our auras right now, our energy fields, as like another, like a really high level layer of protection. He's saying this is, ooh, this is the kind of protection that like star beings have, that not like, it feels like when they're on their at home, like when star beings are on their like own planet, they don't need this because the energy is so high. But when they go to do other things, like when they come down to work with us, they kind of put on this like almost like armor, this shield. And so this is what we're getting right now. That's really freaking cool. So it's just dropping down around you. Maybe, you might, I feel like you're seeing this differently depending on how it's coming in for you. But basically this energy, and it's really beautiful. It's not quite like light. I don't even know how to describe it. I feel like you're probably seeing or, receiving something. Almost like those pearlescent balloons, those white pearlescent balloons. It almost has, not quite like that. It's like, that's a little, the word that's coming through is, that's a little vulgar, but it's, it's maybe as close as humanity is going to get. But okay, so it's still working with us. So it looks like it's about halfway down. So let's just breathe with it and wait for it to complete. Archangel Michael is saying it's going to take you a little while to get used to this as well. So, still call me in, still clean your energy, still do whatever you feel like you need to do. And he'll still do with you whatever, whatever is necessary or wanted. It's like this actually might take I'm getting this might actually take almost a year to like fully click in. Solidify isn't the right word because it's not at all solid, but like it might take like a year for this to fully activate. So, keep doing whatever you need to do with the energy for yourself, but this is in process. So this is like super new earth, super 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th dimensional kind of protection. So yay, that's awesome. Shimmering weave of light flow. Yeah, that's about what it is for sure. Okay. Feels like it's almost done. Okay, good. Feels like it's completed for everyone. Yes. Okay. Actually, it feels like for one person who's not on, it's taking a little bit longer. Okay, good. Good. Okay, cool. Well, that's fun. All right. Feels like, are we complete? There's one more thing for me to say and then we're complete. What do I need to say? I'm not sure what I need to say, but there's one more thing before we go. Feels like something about joy. Okay, something about joy. Oh, okay. Enjoy. The word enjoy, like ENJOY, enjoy, like something about enjoy. It's almost like the energy of enjoyment is coming in, like the energy of being in joy is coming through. You might want to play with the word enjoy. It feels like it's almost like it's a code that's unlocking maybe. I've been playing a lot with, people tend to think of them as mantras, but I tend to think of them more as like sentences that unlock a code within me. So one that I've been playing with a lot on social media is, I am a goddamn gift to the world. And this really this shifts my energy very quickly. It shifts kind of out of fear and out of, unworthiness. It really, when we really just say this, out loud, if you can, it shifts the energy. It unlocks something within us. And it feels like there's something about the word enjoy that is unlocking something within us that's actually helping us integrate into the energy of joy rather than the energy of suffering. So play with the word enjoy in whatever way it feels right to you. Maybe a phrase will come through for you. Maybe, you just write it down somewhere. I don't know, do whatever you want with it, but it feels like the word enjoy is a bit of a code keeper for us, a code unlocker. So yeah, was that it? That was it. Cool. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I'm so glad the first couple of sessions were a bit much with Mercury in retrograde and the star beings. We could not finish the session to save our lives. But yeah, I'm glad that it's now working a little bit better. So that is fun. I feel like I can worry about it less now. I wasn't really worried, but a little bit. So yeah, great. Okay, so we have our next session in a couple of weeks. These are always the first and third Tuesday of the month, and you get an email at the beginning of the month with all of the information, and I'll send out the replay. So yay, I think we're all set. I'm sending you all lots of love, lots of joy, lots of dragons, and a big hug, and lots of love until we see each other again. Bye, everybody.